Hello, I'm the frosted glass. Wait. Oh, fuck it. Alright. Hello, welcome to the corner. I'm the Frosted Glass.
How long have you been doing this show now? You don't have your intro ready?
We'll do it live.
I was pissed off about Oklahoma. All right.
We'll do it live.
There we go.
All right. And I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages. I like boobs.
You know, you stole my fucking line, you son of a... I was gonna say fuck Oklahoma, but fuck you.
Moonshock.
It's official. Both Jack and Frosted hate musicals, especially the one called Oklahoma.
I've
You
never
know
actually-
a musical? What are you, a faggot?
Well, only on TV, of course.
Yeah. Pterodine Mantis.
I don't know anything about this. I'm staying out of it.
He's staying neutral on the Oklahoma debate. All right.
Yes.
And this week's special guest, Scribe.
I wish I was watching a TEDx.
Anywhere else but here. Got it.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. It has been a busy Friday for me, but I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah.
At least I didn't do like an hour-long stream on Germans shitting, okay?
Now I did a hour and a half talking Hollywood and movies and stuff, and then I did an hour talking Menendez brothers on a different channel, and then there's work in between and everything else, and I got stuff later this evening. It's a busy Friday, I tell you what.
You know, Scribe, Son and I, we love the movie Despicable Me. And there was like one time like years ago when you guys were still doing oh my God, what the hell was it called? Lords of the Night.
Lords of the Night.
You know, and always watching your videos. And there's a line on Despicable Me where the I think it's Agnes. She goes, "It's so fluffy, I'm gonna die." And I can see Scribe saying, "It's so fluffy, I'm going to die." Got it.
If it was a cute kitty cat jumping into my lap, that might be so.
All right. Well, it's time for our first article. And you know what I hate? Narcs.
Commies?
I for the
I
sake
hate
of
the
being
commies.
politically correct.
Can we
get
talk
away.
about my hatred of commies?
No. And the worst kind of narc is the kind that reports a trans student.
LG wear with a black lens? I'm not going to get a picture for this person because it's just some stupid generic looking name. I'll look anyway.
I have to report my trans student. I'm not going to do it.
What?
What?
So I've discussed these hateful laws before here, but in short, teachers are now supposed to report students who identify as trans.
Horror fanatic.
Even if a child asks to go by a different name, we are expected to report them. It is honestly some of the most embarrassing malarkey. I've never used the word, but malarkey seems appropriate here. I've seen in the American education system. I feel if you call something malarkey, then it's not something to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Something a black man would say. That's a white word.
I only know it for being said by Joe Biden.
Right.
No, I mean, I'm familiar with the word, but no, it's not something that you use to describe a serious problem. It's like more dismissive. It's like, oh, that's just malarkey.
Yeah, like the Holocaust. What a bunch of malarkey. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's next? Is this guy gonna take this person behind a tool shed and beat the hell out of him?
Do you have a link to this article you can put in the private chat so I can follow along?
You wanna
I
read
usually
this?
just watch the stream with it muted.
No, I'm just used to, having the material in front of me too. I want to be informed. Besides, I don't trust his narration.
It's not archived, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll find out real quick.
If you go to the YouTube link, there might be a slight delay, but you can read along that way as well.
All right,
I see. Yeah, it's only half there, but either way.
We have so many reasons to be embarrassed. That's from the article. That's not me. All right.
But it rings true in both instances.
Yeah. I've had students kicked out and shipped off because they came out to their parents. I'm in the business of protecting kids. I guess the proponents of these rules pretend this is a moral or religious issue, but it is clearly about hate. How can I morally feel good about betraying and hurting a child? How can anyone find religious pleasure in knowing they are shipping a child away just for being different?
Wait, shipped? Did they ship a child?
Yeah,
No. They're friends with Ship, the character from the article.
Yeah.
Did they at least put holes in the box before they put it into UPS?
but,
Oh,
well, they have Amazon Prime, so it's like overnight. So when I'm in the business of protecting kids, am I really going to bend to a law that actively hurts them? Hell no. Every year I create a survey for the students. It's a quick way to gain necessary information for planning purposes and getting to know my new kids. Over the last few years, I added a spot for preferred pronouns. Due to the backward nature of my state, I removed this option from the survey this year. However, I still have a section that says, "Tell me something you want me to know about you." This is an important section to me. Many students tell me stuff like, "I'm lazy," or "I play football." Even quick comments help me know which kids to check on early or which coaches to contact if a student is skipping out on assignments. More importantly, this section of the survey has identified homeless children, victims of abuse, and so on. So often kids want help. We just need to give them the opportunity to ask.
I find it difficult to believe that like some kid gets a piece of paper that says, "What do you want me to know about you?" and they put, "I'm being abused." Like that doesn't sound realistic to me.
I feel like you'd go to like your guidance counselor or something, not just
Yeah, but not like
hope
a
your
random
teacher asks. Oh, and yes, I've also had students use the survey to come out to me. So no, I'm not surprised it happened again this year. But I did take a step to make it less likely by removing the pronoun section. Here's my dirty little secret, though. I want to be a safe space for kids. If they don't have an
That
Gross.
sounds disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something an adult should say about kids.
Yeah, keep the kids away from your safe space, please.
If they don't have an adult they feel comfortable confiding in, I want them to be able to talk to me. This year,
Was this written by Jeffrey
You're not a
Marsh?
parent, you're a teacher.
Oh my god.
This year, my students' response to the survey section was brief but clear. "I'm trans. Don't tell my parents."
Things that didn't happen for 600, Alex.
Wow.
The students received the survey on the first day of school. This child was clearly bursting to tell someone. My job is to now contact his parents about this confession. I supposed I am still
Are we sure that this is an actual teacher and not someone who's just terminally on Tumblr?
I mean, why not both?
I mean, none of this actually happened. This is a purely fictional story.
It's fake. A writer invented it.
Yes.
I supposed I am still expected to build a relationship with this child so they care about learning in my class as well. What benefits come from reporting the kid in this situation? Teenagers have always explored their identities. There are just more support systems now for the kids who explore in ways previously considered taboo. There's no harm coming to a child because they change their pronouns or go by a different name. What am I going to do? I'm going to call the child by the name they prefer, and I will use the pronouns they prefer. I'm not going to report them to anyone. This may lead to some blow-up from parents, placing my job at risk, but I doubt it. This is just another kid in a sea of kids, trying to wade their way through high school. If I lose
It
my...
sound like there's like some sort of hero.
I'm sure they feel that way.
Yeah.
If I lose my job, I won't have any regrets. I will continue to sleep peacefully with my students, most likely.
Yeah.
When did we start asking teachers to not care about the kids? I don't know.
Well, when did we start asking teachers to be surrogate parents? You're not the parent. You're not a guru. You're an educator. If your first concern is seeing into the sexuality of your students, not your kids, your students, understand your relationship dynamic, then something's wrong with you. Maybe you shouldn't be in this profession. And if you're going to buck the law and the rules that you're supposed to be operating under, maybe you shouldn't be in this profession.
Yeah, the only time that a teacher should be interested in the kids, home life is if the parents are doing something they shouldn't be doing. Who gives a shit what this kid wants to do sexually? It is none of these teachers' business. They should not be involved in this in any way.
Beyond all of that, why is it that every time one of these screeds comes out, it's always this self-important bullshit? This is just a giant ego trip for the author. That's all. That's all these articles are.
Well, teachers these days are not being encouraged to be educators. They're encouraged to be change makers. They're encouraged to be the people who are guiding the next generation to change the world and so on. So they are leaders and mentors and et cetera. And again, surrogate parents, because they don't see the students as someone's children. They see them as their kids. And so it becomes this egotistical identity, like this is part of my identity, this is part of my purpose, this is my crusade, and they take it very seriously.
No, they're not.
I don't think that it's like a. I don't even think it's like a my kids. This is too egotistical. I don't hear parents talk about their kids this way. When parents talk about their kids, it's kind of like my property. They're my kids. Don't fuck around with my kids. Whereas when these teachers talk about it, they talk about them more as though they are to be indoctrinated and that they are the magical. They're the magical presence in the universe, the center of the universe around which all things preside. And I'm going to grant my mystical powers unto the unsuspecting youth. And then I'm going to do things to them.
No, they're not surrogate parents. They're better than parents. The parents are shipping them off to prison camps or something if they're different. Basically they're LARPing as Oscar Schindler. Like they believe that they're skirting the rules to save these kids.
Well, no, this is why I hate the movie Dead Poet Society, because Robin Williams in that basically served as an inspiration for all of these people. It's incredibly self-righteous. There's nothing noble about what they're doing, but they pretend that they're noble. It's this false nobility bullshit that just really irks me.
As far as I'm concerned, these teachers have one job, and that is to educate children, not to indoctrinate them, not to make them what they want them to be. It is to teach them the basics. But they don't even teach that anymore. In the state of Oregon, for example, they can't teach math or anything like that because it's considered racist.
Wait. I've got a very important question, Jack. How do you feel about the shape of the state that Moonshock just mentioned?
I don't know.
Good.
But I'm not. I think I grew up most of my life in Oregon. So back when I went to school, all those ages ago, I mean, I'm not that old, but still, none of the teachers wanted all this bullshit. This is all recent. None of them tried to pull this LGBT bullshit. None of them did anything. None of them wanted to be my friend or mentor. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. That is to teach. It is not your job to develop alternate lifestyle. It is not your job to tell my kid, oh, hey, look, maybe you should express your sexuality. These are children. Nothing more.
I actually prefer referring to them as the LGHDTV community.
Well, no, they're agents of change. This is it now. They have to take your students and turn them into agents of change for a better world where everyone's more equitable, everybody's more free. And hey, kid, do you ever feel a little odd? I felt odd too. You're probably trans. Just don't tell your parents. It's so weird.
I don't want a more equitable world. I don't want a different world. I want a world where everyone is taught the same way. Not indoctrinated, not opinionated. You teach them exactly what they need to know, and that's it. Done.
But Moonshock, if I find out that a little boy likes Barbies, I should tell him to chop his penis off.
I don't care what your kid likes. That is none of my business. If I was a teacher, I don't care what you like to do in your off time. You are here to learn. I'm here to teach. Period.
And that is why you are not hired as a teacher, because that's not what they want from a teacher anymore.
Oh, trust me. There's no way in hell I would want to be a teacher these days. But that's the thing. They don't want people that want to teach normal things anymore.
Well, you can't keep your career unless you get on board.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's like you could be a very excellent teacher and you could try to go along to get along, but if you push back against any of this stuff or you say, hey, that's none of my business, and then it's like, well, no, it really is your business. We have to show that these kids, they can be who they want to be. They can be their authentic selves. And so and their authentic selves is what we slowly and insidiously sort of, well, I don't want to use the word groom, but I mean,
Well, you said
anyway.
it before. Teachers are not parents, but these schools are telling these teachers, maybe they are, maybe they're not, but these teachers are starting to act more and more like parents.
No. It was first off, this is nothing new. Okay, parents as an adversary is something that's been going on for years now, and I mean, just from my own anecdotal experience in personal dealings in real life and also everything that I've observed through the course of my channel is that when educators start speaking these days, I make it's almost like a running gag now. It's like, okay, let's see how long it takes them to even mention parents in the context of referring to their students. Right. Because parents are almost a non-entity in the consideration for education these days for most of these activist teachers. And if they do bring up parents, you got one or two things. Either they're keeping something from the parents, or in some of the sort of private school cases that I've looked at, the parents are effectively abdicating their responsibilities as parents to the teachers and just deferring to them in these things, which is even more crazy.
Yeah,
But
they may as well delegate the job of being the parents to these teachers now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm too busy with my own job, so I don't have the time for my kids. You do it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, and they encourage a separation of or a wall of silence between the kids and the parents. That's what all this like what we're talking about here in this article, or at least referring to, is that, you know, if a kid says something in school, is the teacher obligated to inform the parents that the child has expressed some kind of, you know, psychological or gender confusion or something else? No. We get to keep it secret. The parents don't have a right to know, which is absolutely insane. And it just goes to this, I mean, it's not so much a conspiracy theory, depending on how you look at it, where you have these pockets of territory in the country where you have the state trying to effectively own the children's well-being away from their own parents. As though, like, if a kid has something to say, well, I can't let your parents know because obviously if you come out to your parents like this, you're going to be abused, so I have to protect you. Well, because the whole world is against anybody who says elsewise.
As a wise future president once said, it takes a village to raise a child.
Oh, God. Happy birthday to this future president.
Yeah. But like you were saying, Scribe, the way that you're saying it, it's like you could just feel the communism just soaking right into it.
No, you know what I think would be funny is if the student isn't trans but saw the teachers go, you know what, I'm going to say I am, get an easy A on this course.
Oh, man, that alone, I mean, I can't count. There was, I've told this story before. There was this one teacher in my high school, and this shows my age, obviously. But I forget exactly how we found out, but we figured out that if you, on any term paper or essay or whatever else, if you could circle back whatever you were talking about, like if I was doing a book report on To Kill a Mockingbird, if I could somehow in the course of writing a book report on this, tie it to the Oklahoma City bombing, I'd get an A. It was the way, I don't remember how this worked, but there's this one teacher, and like, so no matter what, if you could find a way, just at the time she was like obsessed with it, or she was really worried about it, or she was really, you know, into looking into this stuff or whatever. And so I found the silliest ways to try to tie in some mention of Oklahoma City or Timothy McVeigh or the militia movement or something. And someone doing a much better book report than I did would get like a B, but somehow I'd always get an A. So either she really liked the Oklahoma City bombing, or she really liked me. I don't know which, but I'm assuming it's the Oklahoma City Bombing.
This book blew me away, almost like. Here.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, when Atticus Finch defended Tom like that, it really was like the FBI defending us against Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, like I had an English teacher who was obsessed with the Salem witch trials, so.
Yeah, but anyway, the short version is you write for your audience, right? So if your teacher's like, hey, kids, this, and this, and also let me know if you happen to have feelings about your gender. Okay, I have feelings about my gender. Okay, well, here's some special treatment for you. Now, what about all you cis devils over there? You know.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, they're also allowing any answer to be correct as long as you can explain how you got to that conclusion.
Yeah, if there's one thing kids like, it's being treated special and getting extra attention. So,
well, and also pleasing the authority figures around you, and that's just reflexive because it's a whole sort of, you know, self-protection survival instinct. That's why, you know, most of the times kids are trying to make their parents happy or get that affirmation or something. And then when you're in the presence of another authority figure, you don't want them to be angry at you or to get in trouble. So you might start conceding certain things just to go along to get along. And of course, if you have a teacher, or I should say an educator or activist, whatever, whose major agenda is not education so much as indoctrination, they're going to encourage and take advantage of that reflex in children to lead them down the path they want to take them, rather than where they should be going, which is towards an actual academic achievement.
And if you extend that behavioral conditioning far enough, you get the Democrat Party.
Well, let's not pretend that it's that taking people blindly down a path is inherent to the Democratic Party. But yes, no, if you're trying to move the masses, and it's the same thing as if you find, like, in the heart of every person there is the hope to be the hero, right? To be the good person, do the good thing, to make some kind of self-sacrifice for a greater good and all that kind of thing. And no matter what side of the political aisle you're on, if you find somebody who is of low enough integrity to try to take advantage of that in people to steer them towards their personal ends or goals, you're going to find a whole bunch of people. It's sort of like the con artist. You know, you make 50 calls trying to con people out of their money. You only have to get one to get a decent payday, right? I mean, the good guys only have to fail once for the bad guy to win. So,
right. If I lose my job, I won't have regrets. I'll continue to sleep peacefully. When did we start asking teachers to not care about the kids? I don't know, but if that is the new standard, it is no longer the profession for me.
Good, then quit.
And that's not care. That's not care for children. That's using the children. He's not talking about their well-being. He's talking about how they can serve his agenda and how he can, like, keep them from their parents. And just it's so creepy.
You know, we talked a lot during that article, but that article was surprisingly short.
Yeah. Well, we didn't talk much during it, but we talked a lot at the end. But, all right. Yeah. So at the end of the first article comes, well, in this case, I'm switching the first and third games because Scribe is not getting out of it this time. So that's right. We are doing Po or No Gender Edition. Where I take 3 genders.
Braniel has informed me that he is not yet intoxicated enough to do this game.
Fair enough.
Where I take 3 genders, 2 of which are from the LGBTIA wiki, meaning they're 100% real, and 1 I made up, and you have to figure out which one is made up. And I'll even give you a short description of each one. Sorry,
I apologize. I was getting a phone call in my ear at the time. I needed to repeat the rules.
This is where I take 3 genders, 2 of which are from the LGBTIA wiki, meaning they're 100% real, and 1 I made up, and you have to figure out which one is made up. And I'll even give you a short description of each one. All right. And, of course, they will be spooky Halloween genders this week. All right. So, gender A, Goth Hello Kit Sick.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Xeno
Goth Hello Kitty aesthetic.
xenogender related to the aesthetic of goth Hello Kitty.
Could
Okay.
have guessed.
And gender B, monster Sunday is sick. I can't figure out this suffix. Xenogender related to the aesthetic of the Friendlies Monster Mash Sunday.
Was it a graveyard smash?
Nah, I don't like mint. And gender C, bloody sink asic. Xenogender based off the aesthetic of bloody sinks.
Yeah.
That last
Okay,
one is
so-
fake. Last one's fake.
No, the last one's real. That's a Tumblr gender right there. Imagine some kid like cutting or some shit.
Well, I mean, they're all fake. Here's the thing: they're all fake. So I guess that would be my answer. They're all of the
That is
above.
very
I'm
hateful, Scribe.
gonna
Yeah.
take D. They're all the above. But that last one in particular sounds particularly silly.
All right, so
I'm just
going
glad
to
it's not me saying it this week.
I'm gonna start a poll for the chat so they can get in on it. And don't forget, one of the options is that they're all real. All right, so
Well,
yeah,
real quotation marks.
yeah.
Oh,
You're not
they're
asking
real,
the
Scribe.
All right, so Jack, where are you going with?
I'm going to vote for B on the assumption that Frosted Glass went to Friendlies.
All right, Moon.
I have no idea what Friendlies is, but I also said B.
All right,
Friendly is I don't know how local it is. That's the thing. I think it might be a New England phenomena.
Oh, is it like an ice cream?
Well, there you
place or
go, right
something?
there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
What is it?
they have ice cream and they have like restaurants and they make like fried clam strips and stuff like that and sandwiches.
Oh.
all right, Terry.
It's not bad.
I'm going to go a special spooky all real.
All right, and Scribe said C.
Yeah, I'm going for C.
All right, so let's see. Chat's going all real, and B and C are tied for second. So give that a few more seconds.
Apparently, Tier knows what a Friendlies is, so he said something about Maryland.
When I hear like friendlies, I'm thinking like friendly matches. Like they're not like for stakes or anything. It's just like friends having fun playing.
And I think I'll end it there. So chat went with all real, followed by B. And oh crap, I forgot to move Frakes. All
Is he frosted flakes?
No. And the answer is B is fake.
Oh, but yeah, there
Oh.
we go. I was gonna say you better move Frakes.
Who could have guessed that? Did you go to Friendlies, Frosted?
No, I was just thinking like Halloween themed, restaurant stuff.
So
you
a bloody
didn't realize
sink.
that-
A bloody sink is a gender.
Oh, they
Yep.
might even have a flag too.
Oh dear God.
So Frosted, you didn't realize that Friendlies was regional, did you?
Nah, I just figured it was nationwide.
Well, I see the word Monster Sunday, that part, and I'm thinking it's this big, gigantic bowl of like ice cream with like 20 scoops or something like, and that you would give to some kid on their birthday because
Yeah.
you want them to die of a diabetic coma.
Yeah. But well, I mean, it is a kid's thing. It's like a scoop of mint ice cream, so it's green, and I think they use they split a Reese's cup in half for like ears or something. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
All right. So
Flag
let's look at the flags for the real ones. Here's Goth Hello Kitty ass sick.
What? I kind of I like the skull bow. That's kind of cute.
I feel like you could find this flag inside like one of those edgy sticker vending machines.
You could get this shirt at Hot Topic, no question.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, and here's Bloody Sink Asic.
Lame. Come on.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
Scribe, you're the English major. How do you pronounce that suffix?
ASIC? Do you think? Scribe?
ASIC.
Yeah.
Yeah, ASIC.
All right. All right. But, of course, that's not all.
Oh God. While he does this, does anybody remember Muscle Men from their childhood?
Oh yeah, a little trash can, little pink
Didn't
plastic
you
things.
like- Did you? Ever
I had
get-
tons of those.
Oh hell yeah! My favorite was,
And
was the claw.
the spiky bumpy hand one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there was like if I remember right, he was one of the leaders, and then like there was another one on the other side that was supposed to be one of the leaders, but I don't know if that was ever official.
The leaders on one side was Muscle Man with the mohawk, and the other leader was Terrible, and he had like one of the broken horns on the top of his head.
Oh, I thought the hand guy was a leader or something. But yeah, no,
but
I
that
used
one
to
was
have
very popular though. That one. Was very-
muscles and micro machines and army ants. Those are like the big things when I was growing up.
Yeah.
All right. But we also have...
For me, it was... Remember tech decks? Those were pretty big.
Oh, the
No,
skateboards.
don't know that.
Well, the thing is that they were supposed to be finger-sized skateboards, and people,
Those
like,
things.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and
okay,
no one
all right.
and no one could do that. No one could do any tricks on them because you can't do tricks with your fingers. It doesn't work like that.
I bet Tim Pool can. All right.
Oh yeah.
We
He's
also
the
have...
master sport.
We also have Pro or No Gender Edition, Too Retarded for TV, where I show you a gender that is too retarded not to share, but also you guys wouldn't think I made it up.
Is it
All
going
right,
to be
and-
Tim Pool Kasich?
No. This one I saved especially for Scribe.
Oh boy.
God.
Cat Fox Hybrid Gender.
What the?
I believe that exists because I live with one.
Gender
On the
related to hybrids of a cat and a fox.
But not a dog?
No.
Well, we can't all be perfect.
Yeah. And there's your flag, Scribe.
I might have to adopt that for dog, cat, fox, except add on like an extra paw.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost
good.
got the Shibu Inu color scheme there almost.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Just do a thing of dog, cat, fox, like doing the Iwo Jima thing, but with this flag.
There you go. Yeah, can you send me that graphic on Twitter? I'll do something with it.
All right.
He'll put it into his little moon base.
Yeah, I'll find a way. I will find a way.
All right. And now for our next article, let's see. So, Scribe, you've been critical of DEI before, right?
Here and there.
What? Scribe would never do such a thing.
All right. Well, if you don't like DEI, then apparently you're Team Eugenics.
If I don't like DEI, I'm Team Eugenics.
Yeah.
Okay, how does that work?
Oh, there will be no
Eugenics?
picture for this person either. Sorry, guys.
Eugenics and DEI programs. Elon Musk shows the hand of today's new modern racists.
Oh, Jesus.
How in the hell are those two not mutually exclusive?
Eugenicists among us.
Oh, dear God.
Elon Musk posted to his social media platform, Twitter, X, yesterday. He was responding to another tweeter who tweeted the following. The average IQ of U.S. Air Force pilots is about 120, and the figures I've seen for major airline pilots range from 115 to 130. By contrast, the mean IQ of grads from two of those United Airline HBCU partners is about 85 to 90. Based on the average SATs at those schools, then it trails off. All right.
Have they not heard of reduced standards so that everybody can be included in that lovely little gang?
This is Musk's response tweet. It will take an airplane crashing and killing hundreds of people for them to change this crazy policy of DIE.
Of die?
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure he did that on purpose.
Yeah, of course.
Musk and someone are suggesting that students training to become pilots at HBCUs are intellectually inferior in a significant way. The prior tweet even the prior tweet even states, no doubt it is a lie, that based on SAT scores, their IQs are not good. This is the level of madness. The war over DEI is at DEFCON 3, at least judging by this. The evil science.
If you are hiring on the basis of something like intelligence, and you automatically cut out 4/5 of the population, you're going to get inferior candidates.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of sort of have to have smart people to do some jobs. Just saying.
For the record, the first tweet is a complete fabrication of the facts, and the record and credibility of the IQ test and the SAT.
Of course.
Black people are just as smart and just as educated as intelligent people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is just racist evil. Musk even intentionally misspells DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Programs, DIE, in order to score points with other racists and other people who oppose DIE but don't know why.
He spelled it wrong. That means he's like Hitler.
Yeah.
Yes, because there's no such thing as a sub-race. Not at all. Nope.
Musk and whoever this is posting before him is not the real problem. The issue is eugenics and how it is being used and has been used to fashion public policy in the United States.
Eugenics? They don't even know what the fuck they're saying.
Does this person know how much of a eugenicist Bill Gates and his ilk are?
Well, they even know how eugenics works.
No,
it's a breeding program. This is Elon Musk is promoting eugenics. Look, the only racists here are United Airlines in this example for putting a focus specifically on colleges on the basis of the predominant race that attends those colleges.
Yeah,
I can't count how many. I mean, in specifically to this, the International Air Transport Association, they had their diversity awards ceremony, a year or two ago or something. I did a stream on it. And you had these representatives of JetBlue, and I forget what the other airline was. But anyway, it was the most sexist and or racist thing. Well, maybe not the most, but one, at least for the sake of the industry, because I never really looked at the airline industry before, that I heard. One of the first things the lady speaker said when she was asked about, what does the industry need to do to change? And she just put her hands out and said, well, just look at this room. The problem's right here because there's not enough women and or people of color in the room in this conference that they were all at. So she's basically telling everybody in the room who's some, airline or airline industry professional for God knows how many years or whatever else, that they're all effectively nullified because of what they look like. You want to talk about racism or someone who's looking to, create an industry. I mean, if you're talking about like industrial eugenics for the sake of like the appearance of your workforce, then I guess that's how you can look at it. But the whole thing is, we talk about lowering standards, putting appearance above merit, filling out your demographic quotas. And if you don't hit those numbers, then you don't get the money from BlackRock or Vanguard or whatever else, or you look like you're a racist company if the percentages of your workforce aren't correct. It's about the lowering of standards.
Can we say Boeing?
Certainly Boeing is the one that, everybody keeps attacking because of all their problems and their deficiencies and their mechanical issues. But the problem is that it's very difficult to identify DEI as the cause of these things. It's sort of like the reverse of somebody trying to prove to me that DEI is good for a business, right? Because you need to show me draw a line for me where DEI started and where it is now versus your numbers before and after, and you can point exactly to DEI improving your bottom line or something like that. Well, it's so amorphous. Yeah.
That's the thing, though, is that I don't necessarily know that if it's like a chicken and the egg kind of problem. Is it DEI that caused it, or is it the general incompetence that caused DEI that caused it?
All you can do is look at trends over time. And you can say, okay, this company implemented a DEI regimen at this point. And then, you know, if you're performing, and this is the other thing too that always screws it up, is that if you change your performance reviews, if you change the way that you're measuring success to align with this change in what your standards are, then by the numbers that you produce as a company, maybe things will look fine. But, you know, it all depends. But like Elon Musk says here, you're really only going to find out if things have gone wrong when the absolute disasters start happening more often than not. Because all the stuff that isn't really a disaster or doesn't actually hurt anybody, it'll just fly, no pun intended, but I'll take it, under the radar until something no one can deny happens. And that's really that's the really insidious nature of starting to lower the standards of merit, especially when it comes to essential services, whether it's medicine, transport, and so on, is that by the time that things start breaking, you're risking people's lives or the supply chain or something else. And by that point, it's already part and parcel with the entire process and has been for years. And so how then do you turn back the clock and try to fix it?
Yeah, you can.
Just because
not
something
easily.
I would also suggest the possibility that general incompetence can cover most situations without major catastrophe, but rather that it's the competence that allows you to take care of unusual situations, which is why I think that remark about a big disaster is especially relevant, because the big disaster happens when something unusual happens and the incompetent person isn't able to understand how to take care of it in that scenario.
Yeah, but like you say, you can always write even the worst scenario, you could eventually just write off to individual human error and not a problem with, not an endemic problem with your hiring practices or your company culture or anything else, unless somehow you can draw a line between that one disaster and either other examples or whistleblower reports or something like that. And that muddies the waters real quick. So once you start to practice DEI, and if you go on for a number of years, it's really, really difficult to get out of that without a major overhaul and reexamination of what you're doing.
And even
by
if
that time it's too late.
And even if some terrible disaster happens that was provably caused by lowering standards, that, you know, no company or the government is going to want to admit that it was their fault. So they're going to come up with some other reason that it happened.
Well, this is why you need a robust watchdog infrastructure on these things. And this is why the EEOC has failed so miserably over the last at least 10 years in not really locking down on these things. I mean, when I started my channel, when they were talking about diversity initiatives and things like this, they used very couched language as to what they were doing, what their intentions were. But very quickly, when there were no consequences to these actions and initiatives, they started just sort of not even trying to sugarcoat it anymore, being very blatant about what they were saying. And I can't count how many instances of corporate employees in public settings or in public interviews that are still on YouTube making statements of, yes, we hire people on the basis of these things, which are demonstrably illegal. But when the EEOC does act, it's usually in some tiny company somewhere for some little thing, and then they slap them with a fine, and that's it. And so the only way that we can combat this and ultimately try to police it back to something where we actually do value meritocracy when it comes to especially essential services, but just in general, is to have a well-funded, well-staffed, and empowered employee, EEOC to do what theyey're supposed to do and enforce the law, but they don't. And that's
how about this?
That's really what it is.
I apologize. How about this? What I'm thinking of is in gaming, they have the sweet baby detector. You remember that? Where basically,
that guy was a brave soul. He put that up there, and he got completely just railroaded by everybody and their brother on that. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that wouldn't it be more helpful if we had things like that, basically, that said, here are companies that don't enforce these ridiculous measures, because the fact is that if there ever does come a time where planes start falling from the sky because of the idiots, people will want to know which companies are not employing these measures.
Well, there are some
yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say there are people who have been trying to do that. You've got people like Christopher Rufo. You got Starbuck. I always forget Johnny Starbuck. What his first name is?
Robbie
Starbuck. And there are other people in initiatives trying to do that. But unfortunately, the gamerverse is far more plugged into that passion, more so than your everyday person is plugged into the corporate side of things in the same way. So like what's happening at Citibank or Boeing or something else, it's only going to become an issue for maybe those insiders, and it'll be a very niche thing. So there are some efforts to try to expose this stuff and try to shame or quasi-police companies into overturning this stuff. The problem is that what companies are doing is just like, I believe it was the University of Oklahoma, not to bring things back to Oklahoma again for the third time, but here we are. Their diversity, equity, and inclusion department was disbanded because of laws and things that were coming down. And by disbanded, I mean they literally just changed the name of everything, changed the name of people's titles, and retained everybody in their same positions. It just goes underground without any kind of actual consequence or enforcement behind this stuff. For the sake of virtue and everything else, people just continue to practice these things until either they're removed and someone's put into place that actually knows what they're doing, or the companies realize that if they continue down this path, there will be serious legal and financial consequences. This is why the EEOC and the federal government need to actually enforce Title VII. I cannot count how many times I've just been bewildered in asking, how is this legal, when I see examples. It's becoming less fashionable now after the affirmative action decision, even though you didn't need the affirmative action decision to suddenly realize Title VII's been violated left, right, and center for the last 10 years. But that's really the only way it's going to change. It's really the only way that people's lives and livelihoods are going to improve, is if the federal government is willing to take action. Now, I have hope, fingers crossed, knock Formica, that Kamala Harris does not win 2 weeks from now, and that if we get a Trump administration for a second time around, and he and his underlings take it seriously, and I hope they do for the sake of what Trump can deliver, they'll start, really enforcing and really trying to rout out this stuff and make it untenable for companies to take part in. But that's, high hopes. We'll see if anything happens.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah. I honestly, I wouldn't get my hopes up.
Don't worry.
The British writer Angela Saini has reported how racial eugenics has been on the rise for years in her book Superior. Saini would call the attacks on DEI and African people in general as intellectual jumping through hoops to maintain the status quo.
Now who's associating DEI with one particular race? You just gave away the whole game there. It's like DEI is to help black people. Well, because black people need help inherently because they're black. Sorry, who's the racist again? Jesus,
it's the Democrats' white man's burden. Yeah.
Yeah.
All this to prove what they have always really wanted to know, that they are superior. Yet she has also said, "We'll keep reaching. One day there will be nothing left to reach for."
It would all be destroyed because they hired idiots instead of the qualified.
Sorry,
did I say that? My bad.
There's no genetic or biological determinant of intelligence. Being classified...
You want to bet?
Being classified as white might or will give you an advantage in America, but being white does not make you superior intellectually or possess greater intelligence. It is
I have a very big problem with that.
It is a biological...
Just the fact that white people can find the DMV proves that we're smarter than black people. By white Democrats' own standards.
Well, yeah, and also white people can somehow find their IDs and be able to provide it, and they carry it with them too.
We're just a lot smarter by their own standards, by their own rhetoric. So yeah.
I mean, apparently there are black people out there who don't even know what a computer is. That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Right. I to this moment, I do not understand how people, companies, organizations, activists, and so on, decide that the color of your skin is a disability that we need to help compensate for. That's all that they're saying with these special programs that are just specifically for people on the basis of their gender or their race. Obviously, you can't do it on your own. Obviously, you are hindered by the nature of what you are, and we will take benevolent pity on you because it's just plain as the color on your face that you can't make it on your own.
2 words: white guilt.
Well, yeah, white guilt, the virtue of anti-racism, on and on and on and on. It's poison. It's utter poison, and yet they keep doing it, and they keep getting away with it. Even with the lawsuits that have come up recently from Bloom and his group, or the mild public shaming from people like Robbie Starbuck. And I only mean mild in the sense that it's just one guy sort of like, pointing things out, and companies and oftentimes giving sort of like platitude type responses. There's still not been any kind of DEI reckoning. And there really needs to be. And the only place it's going to come from is from federal law enforcement. That's it. If you're not abiding by the Civil Rights Act, there should be something that befalls someone pretty heavily if they violate federal law. You would think, especially in employment or otherwise. All these people, they hold up the civil rights movement of the 60s as this big, great thing. And it was, except when you diminish it by not actually enforcing the laws that people fought and died to have put into place to try to make this country a fairer place. It's utter insanity to me. And it's what keeps driving me to look at this stuff over the years, because it's more like at this point, it's not so much that I'm surprised it's happening, or that it's happened. I'm surprised it keeps happening, and the companies that promote it haven't realized the hole that they're digging for themselves. If Donald Trump or anybody else comes in and actually empowers the federal government to fight back on this stuff, so many companies have set themselves up for a gigantic class action lawsuit, because for however long you've been promoting DEI practices, every individual who has applied for a job and either gotten it or not gotten it could potentially become a part of a class action lawsuit for discrimination.
It'll be like the Nuremberg trial.
It should be.
No, but the thing is that's the reason it won't happen, though, is because it's so universal at this point that
I know.
Implicate
I know.
it would implicate everyone.
If
you sued everyone who partakes in DEI, the entire economy would collapse overnight.
This is one of those things that would actually take leadership and bravery to tackle. It's something that has been allowed to go on far too long, and this is why even if Donald Trump's in the presidency, I'm not confident he has the leverage or the leadership ability to actually tackle something like this, because the longer that it goes on, the worse things are going to get. But it's something that needs to be done, because all of this is completely antithetical to the values that we all hope to see in our Constitution and the laws that already exist. It's insane that it's gone on this long. It's insane that so many public officials feel completely comfortable telling us just how pitiful we have to look at certain people on the basis of what they look like. And get away with it. It sickens me. It really does. I mean, that's why I've been focusing on it for so long, is just because it's just, it upsets me. What can I say?
The thing, I just want to say one more thing, and then I'll shut up. I think that ultimately the solution is not going to come from the government. I think that the solution is going to come from a cultural shift, because that's what it's going to take. If the government was to take action, it would only realistically be able to take superficial stabs at the problem, which is one of the things that I'm hopeful with Donald Trump, is that he can make cultural shifts within the climate that veer away from this, no one's ever going to get in trouble for DEI. No one's ever going to go to jail. No one's going to get fined. But in the long run, maybe though we can disincentivize using, frankly speaking, basically get a return to hating communism, hating the commie bullshit. If we can get a return to hating the commie bullshit, I think that we could at the very least course correct somewhat. That's just my opinion.
One of the West's great projects is spending time creating a system based on white privilege, and then making up some scientific nonsense that justifies it.
What?
One responder to Musk's tweet/retweet called him a blustering idiot for posting what he posted. It is because it is reckless to perpetuate race superiority in some pseudo-scientific way using pseudoscience. Okay? That is what eugenics is anyway. It was named by the evolutionist Francis Galton, cousin of Charles Darwin. It has resulted in all kinds of public and private atrocities. The Tuskegee experiments, the Marshall Island experiments, racist standardized testing of school children. This continues today. Racial redlining and housing policy in every American city is designed to separate the races. Jim Crow laws and laws of racial segregation and exclusion across the nation. Healthcare policy is designed to deny African people and people of color access to basic health care. The sterilization of...
set up specifically to kill black kids.
What?
Abortions, like Planned Parenthoods, but set up specifically to kill black babies.
Now, Terry, what the hell does Margaret Sanger have to do with eugenics? Come on.
Yeah.
Right. The sterilization of poor women and women of color without their consent. Immigration policy that closed the American border to various groups at various times in history. This is a short list of atrocities committed in the name of white supremacy and eugenics. Eugenics explains America and the entire colonial expedition. And now the attack is on DEI programs. DEI is just an effort by colleges to devote some resources to diversity, equity, and inclusion on campus. It is, on some level, a trade-off. After George Floyd was viciously murdered in May 2020...
Say his name! Oh.
Some schools decided to create such offices at their schools. The right-wing and conservative crew had a cow and have been unable to breathe ever since.
Oh my god.
I have personally been aware of such programs long before the George Floyd-induced increase in their programs. I'm also aware that these programs work well. They don't provide any student any advantage, but are there as a resource. For all students. They've been especially a go-to office for LGBTQ students and international students a long way from home.
They don't.
DEI programs also increased at big tech companies after George Floyd's murder.
He wasn't murdered, you stupid fuck. He was already dying from the overdose that he had.
That Derek Chauvin gave him.
Yeah, through the knee.
Yeah.
He had a needle on his knee. That's how it did happen.
And let me tell you why he was convicted of murder. Because if they had acquitted him, there would be more fucking riots, and they know it. They know it.
Yet the right-wingers are winning against big tech. They have decreased their job postings for DEI jobs by 44% recently. The Harvard Business Review has recently written an article providing guidelines for DEI programs to use to navigate the future. Governor Ron DeSantis has gone as far as to ban DEI programs in public education in Florida and to ban the teaching of systemic racism.
What? There is only one form of systemic racism in this country right now, and that is the civil rights movement. The whole fucking thing is nothing but one gigantic...
I mean, DEI is systemic racism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, against white people.
Eugenics as fact. The racists and eugenicists are in desperation mode. Their weaponizing of a sick, discredited scientific theory to advance racist public policy in America is not new. It isn't even surprising. Winston Churchill was eugenicist. Theodore Roosevelt was eugenicist. One of Woodrow Wilson's teachers was an economist named Richard Ely, a well-known eugenicist. All right, now we're getting into Charlie Evidence Wall territory.
Yeah.
All right. Wilson, who became president of the United States, racially segregated the federal workforce while in office.
Good.
These individuals are heads of state in Great Britain and the United States, respectively. Their policy decisions were informed by the diseased theory of eugenics. It is no different today. Eugenics is not dead.
Oh my God. Scribe, teach this motherfucker the true meaning of eugenics.
It's a selective breeding program where you're trying to breed out certain elements of someone, both culturally and ethnically, and depending on which era you're living in, also religiously.
That is incorrect. It is the study of people named Eugene.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Eugene, you remember me? No, this is nutball territory nonsense. It almost sounds like a Medium article.
What?
And while I hate to be a wet blanket, I unfortunately do have to leave. I got other things pre-scheduled that I have to go off to. But yeah, thanks, Frosted, for bringing me on and melting my brain for whatever reason.
Do you want the rest of this article to read at your leisure?
Oh, let him do his own screen.
Is that the word I would use in reference to this article? Leisure? Yeah, I mean, if you want to tweet that to me too, sure.
All right,
but
I'll archive it.
Okay,
and I'll send you Dogcat Fox's new flag.
Yes, I need to work on I need to make the Dogcat Fox flag off of that one.
Yes,
because that's just a dog.
So far.
Yeah, that's just a dog fox thing.
The cat fox.
Cat fox.
Cat fox. Sorry, pardon me, cat fox.
Does the order matter, or can it be cat, dog, fox?
Order is everything.
No, it's dog, cat, fox. There's dominant genes and there's recessive genes. Dog, cat, fox.
I mean, can you be Gunjacksky?
Yeah, see, there's an order to things, and since it's dog, cat, fox, and everything works in a triune manner, cat is at the top of the pyramid, and dog and fox are at the bottom.
Shoon mock, shut up, Keith.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Scribe.
Yes.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Hope everybody has a good rest of your Friday and weekend, and I'll see you hopefully all on Sunday morning if you're up that early. And yeah, Moonshock, give me the link to the thing when the time comes.
Will do.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
and
the
everybody have a good weekend.
All right, take care, everybody.
Yep. Bye bye.
See
See you later, Scribe.
See it. It says you came.
Bye, guys.
Oh, it says you came back already, Scribe.
Oh, damn.
Oh, just discovered I could bounce off a different satellite and be fine for
What
this.
happened to your voice?
Probably messing with my signal though. So
Voice changed too. Huh.
Satellites are known to.
I think the length of the stream just increased by like an hour.
And your avatar is now looks like it's an OBS icon. Huh.
Satellites are known to do that.
there we go. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought I triggered that.
See, now if he
Oh,
wasn't
look,
Scribe, would he have that thumbnail? No.
Will it
I
light?
think the police just go past. So
Either will it light or Scribe it forge.
All right. And okay, so here we have a quote from Churchill. I do not admit, for instance, that a great wrong has been done to the Red Indians of America or the black people of Australia. I do not admit that a wrong has been done to these people by the fact that a stronger race, a higher grade race, a more worldly wise race, to put it that way, has come in and taken their place.
I like this guy.
So we had conquerors and conquered.
Yeah.
Got it.
And these individuals, past and present, are not worried about anything other than African Americans, mostly Latino students and workers. Just the fact that Musk calls the offices racist and not sexist in favor of women tells you all you need to know. They did not attack affirmative action programs that sought to provide more opportunity for women.
Yes,
They
we
always... No, shut up, Terry. All right.
did.
They always go after programs designed to remedy the racist past of America. Race is their obsession. The white race. There is no such thing, by the way.
Yes, there certainly is.
But DEI
There's no such. Wait, I've never heard someone argue there's no such thing as white people.
Well, I think there's 3 races, which is essentially white, black, and Asian. So those are the 3 races, as I'm aware.
None of the others exist. So.
white, black, Asian, and weebs. Right.
Well, weebs aren't people, so they don't count.
Oh.
Yeah. But
Hey, I resemble that remark.
But DEI is not affirmative action. It is not racist. In Oklahoma, the governor recently asserted that DEI programs are what divides us. Imagine, how can a DEI program divide unless you are a white supremacist?
What?
Well, maybe because the whole point of DEI programs is to divide and separate people by indelible characteristics and punish some people for who they are and reward other people for who they are.
I don't
The
know.
I in DEI means inclusion, Scribe.
Yeah. Ask someone
I think
who
it's
is...
funny how they try to pretend that DEI brings people together when the very nature of diversity is disparate groups.
Ask someone who is LGBT...
No.
LBTGQ. If a DEI office is not important to them. Ask someone who is an international student trying to navigate America's racist madness if such programs are valuable.
Madness. Madness.
One thing you should not do is ask a eugenicist like Elon Musk. And Christopher Rufo, who just led a racist... Oh, like Scribe was talking about, yeah. Who just led a racist campaign to eject Dr. Claudine Gay from the presidency of Harvard University. We are waiting for you to condemn Musk's naked support of racist bigotry with this tweet.
Are we done with this article yet? Oh, thank God.
Thank
I
you.
wasn't listening. Can you read it again?
No,
Right.
absolutely not.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk
Rodriguez man.
posted
Shut
to
the
his
hell
social media. It's always Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I am so fucking tired of being called a white supremacist just because, you know what? Guess what? It's okay to be white. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's racist somehow. Tell me something. You can say, oh, black power. Yeah, that's so great. You say white power all of a sudden makes you a racist.
I just admit to being racist. Like, at this point, all it means is someone the left doesn't like. So, I'll adopt that label.
Yeah, that's
I
bullshit.
I just love the uproar when the it's okay to be white signs were being put up.
Oh, yeah.
We're being attacked. We're being attacked.
Yeah, because
How
words on
about
paper.
Islam was right about women?
Yeah. Which is genius, by the way. 'Cause,
Really.
I mean, how are they supposed to react without outing themselves? All right. Well, at the end of the second article comes the second game, which is for the chat only, boobs, and that is the Caption Contest.
Yay.
Where I show a photo of a political figure event, and the chat has to come up with a caption for it, and whichever one we like best, I'll tweet out after the show. All right,
I think we
so-
should have sad libs as this game.
No.
Sad libs. Sad libs. Sad
No. Libs is the best game. It's the last one, sadly.
So this week, it was inevitable I had to have a photo from this event.
Yeah.
Of course.
And like, if the left had handled it smartly, like they could have made Trump look like an idiot for doing this.
Yeah. Now
Like
I didn't see the whole thing, but is all he served were the fries, or did he actually give them bags of other food too? Because it just
No,
seemed
he
to be
gave
like
them bags of other food. It's just he was
Okay.
working the fry
okay.
Yeah,
cooking area of the restaurant.
Yeah, I think he worked the fries and then he did the window for a bit. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Remember, if you vote Kamala, she is going to suck your dick. I make the best fries stacked a mile high. Fries salted with salt from the tears of liberals. Let's see. Vote for me and you'll get an extra nugget. Would you like prosperity with that?
I like that one.
Right. Let's see. Hello, fellow working stiff.
Oh God.
So then I grabbed her by the. Did you want fries with that? Welcome to McDonald Trump. May I take your order? Hey, you on the left, want some cries with that?
Oh God. You kidding?
I kind of like the simplicity of this one. We have ice cream. Right. Would you like tax cuts with that? Let's see.
I actually like Ebony. Hi, guys. I think that is an excellent caption.
Yeah, that's something he would
Yes,
say.
I like hi guys.
Let's see. I grabbed this bag. I grabbed this bag by the puss. These are great nuggets, the best in the world. If you vote me, I promise to fix all the ice cream machines. Here's the beef. I think that's the wrong franchise, but oh, we got a Jack Cochran in the audience. I grabbed it by the Happy Meal.
Okay, you win so far, Jack. I like that one.
Oh, and someone's got a timeout.
Oh, you bastard.
Also, I think Dave Rubin beat you to that joke.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And
Kamala is at Arby's.
I've seen a lot of people making that joke.
No, Dave Rubin just knocked it next level when the joke started with Kamala's going to be doing Five Guys, and he added the she might be going to the burger place too.
Let's see. Kamala's at Arby's with the meat
I think the
curtains.
most shocking thing is that somebody still cares what Dave Rubin has to say.
Okay,
Yeah, I didn't. As I said, I've seen lots of people making that joke on Twitter.
Rob said you'll have to read Hogo's again.
Shit.
Kamala is at Arby's with the meat curtains. Let's see. 0 commies served. They keep shooting at me. Please don't tell anyone I'm here. All right. Want a monster Sunday?
Monster Sunday.
All right. Well, we have a bunch, so I'm gonna cut it off there.
Ebony wants to know what Dave did.
Yeah, he just tweeted he just tweeted out
made
like
the joke that Kamala is working Five Guys, and apparently Dave Rubin already made that joke.
yeah. All right. So where are you guys going with?
I like Mr. Jack's. That one's my favorite.
I grabbed it by the Happy Meal.
I grabbed it by the Happy Meal.
All right.
Here's what would have been on the table if he'd actually written it out properly, but
It's he can't write.
Oh.
Let's see. Okay, Jack.
I'll go with Mr. Jacks.
All right. Let's see. Moon, did you say?
Mr. Jack's.
Oh, all right. Terry.
I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, so I'll go with Johnny Hillcat. You get a discount if you have Obama's birth certificate.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
It was after the bug.
No, all right.
it was kind of after the cutoff.
Is it eligible after the cutoff, though?
It doesn't matter. We already established 2 wins, so I might as well just give
See-
Johnny a shout out.
See, I was gonna go with the other Johnny one, so I grabbed her by the. Did you want fries with that? Right. But yeah, it looks like Mr. Jack wins.
Yeah.
Mr. Jack comes in and just takes the whole thing.
Yep.
How dare you, sir?
Sweeps the room in one go.
Just interrupt the
God,
sanctity of the corner.
Have you guys seen how expensive Five Guys has gotten? One person showed a receipt for 3 people. It was almost $90.
I mean, Five Guys was always pretty expensive, but yeah, with inflation, I'm sure.
But it's gotten crazy.
Yeah, for like one of their
prices there. Why I've never done it.
Yeah, the bacon cheeseburger is like $13.
Yeah,
like for a small hamburger.
Like, remember when McDonald's had a $1 menu?
Oh yeah.
Now, like, the cheapest thing you're gonna get is like $2.50.
Mm-hmm. Well, heck, I think a Big Mac is like
weird that
$5.
you guys have a restaurant called Five Guys. That just sounds ridiculous to me.
Remember when the $1.50 to $2.50 was expensive at Taco Bell?
Terry, are you going to lecture us on food names?
Yeah.
Hey, you don't even have something as classy and elegant as shapes. Come on.
What about burger rings?
What about
might-
them? They're delicious.
They might as well just have a
Burger
bag that
rings
says
are
food
great.
on it.
Shit.
Well, don't they have? Aren't there sprinkles called like hundreds of thousands or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
No, they're
Well,
sprinkles. Sprinkles. Just say sprinkles. It's that easy. Sprinkles.
I
Do you
think
want
ar-
some food? Chicken flavor for me.
I think around Boston they call sprinkles Jimmies. I don't know.
What?
I believe that Jimmy's are the elongated sprinkles.
I think Jimmy's are
I'm-
condoms, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think so. All right.
Depends on if you're talking about them being rustled or not. I'm just sad I can't get my clean cheese.
All right.
Okay.
But
Evolved Potato is clarifying that hundreds and thousands are a brand name. So a specific brand of sprinkles is
It's not
hundreds
a
and thousands.
specific product type. It's just
Yeah.
What if-
In the same way that people in England call all vacuum cleaners Hoovers. Hoover is technically a brand name, but they just use it to refer to all vacuum cleaners.
now?
We're
Are the-
not hundreds and thousands. We're thousands and hundreds.
Well, are the hundreds? Are those the ones that are shaped like spheres, or are they like the elongated ones, like you would see like on a donut or something?
I don't know. I don't need them.
Okay, I don't know.
I think hundreds and thousands are the spherical ones.
What about
All right.
millions and billions?
yeah. All right. Well, on to
We're
our next.
trillions and trillions.
All right. On to our next article. You know, as I'm sure everyone else who's been paying attention to the election so far agrees, just Kamala is just doing so great. Like, she hasn't made a single mistake.
And
All
she
right.
keeps jumping it. Faye Wild. I think I've seen this chick before. So let me.
Kamala
Frosted,
Harris.
is this article gonna end with the word whoops? Oops.
I mean, maybe on November 6th. I don't know.
Oh yeah, we've seen
Yeah.
this chick before.
Kamala Harris. They keep moving the bar, and she keeps jumping it.
Yeah.
And then
Damn.
into a ditch or
Is this a
onto a
man?
man's dick.
Is this a man or a woman? Oh my god.
Can we pause for just a moment
Kamala
to...
Harris is a woman. I'm pretty sure.
And so is her husband somehow. All right.
Yeah.
Can we pause for just a moment to appreciate her and how she has handled the ultimate pressure cooker situation?
So she's been jumping over the bar like that French pole vaulter.
Okay. Yeah, link is in chat to this woman man person.
She's handled it all right. She's worked the shaft and everything.
Oh, she cradled the balls too.
It's like a British Bill Clinton.
Son just said I have to sleep downstairs now for putting that woman's.
Good on you, son.
Hi,
He
son.
deserves it.
Tear says that as a dude.
All right, let's see.
Okay, that picture right there of Harris, that almost makes her look like she's on a game show, or like she's the host. Because
That's about as seriously as she takes U.S. politics and her oath to the Constitution.
I mean, just that look right there.
Well,
how
why
the
is
game
he
show
still
host looks.
turn it away?
Turn what away? This?
Raniel was showing me a picture of the author
Wow.
and letting it just sit there.
I didn't share a selfie.
All right. Well, the first part is just the leader going on about how she's loves politics, has been following it her whole life, and it's pretty much irrelevant.
good.
So,
Oh,
all right.
so we get the abridged version of this article? Sweet.
I mean, I can read you the full article,
No.
which is 8 minutes
No.
long.
Please,
No.
for the love of God, don't.
No.
All right.
I think some of us
I
have
need the
something to
backstory.
do before 6 a.m. So
I need the backstory, otherwise I won't have context for the rest of the article.
No.
Yeah.
Please.
All right. The weight of the world. Have you stopped to think what kind of pressure immediately fell upon her the day Joe Biden stepped aside and endorsed her? Think about it. One day she
No, I'm
was
pretty
just...
sure the pressure was on from the point when she forced him out.
No, he just stepped aside. One
Yeah,
day
the pressure was on the underside of her boot and the top of his face.
One day she was just the second fiddle, the forgotten and unnoticed person, the afterthought standing in the background whom no one was paying any attention to. And the next day, bam, lights, camera, action.
So
No
he also
rehear-
thinks highly of the position of vice president then.
Yeah.
Jack, I'm pretty sure there was some pressure in her panties too. So
Oh, I don't even want to think about that. That's nasty.
No rehearsal.
and it's
Just
days like this that I'm glad I can't visualize anything.
Mr. Jackson stroked that Willie's Willie.
But yeah, that is true. We let's see, we have 48 viewers and only 24 likes. All right. Let's see. So no rehearsal. Just step out there on the stage, Kamala Harris, and perform. It is the Super Bowl. The star quarterback was carted off the field, and now you are the quarterback, and your team is down a touchdown with 1 minute left on the clock. And you have
even
to...
with the teleprompter, she still tripped over herself.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 32 days away. All right. And
They
you
should
have...
said it was a dancing monkey. That would have been much better.
And you have to start the drive on your own 1 yard line. I'm sure most of that made sense to sports ball people. All right.
I guess so.
I mean,
Sounds
come
like
on.
set up for a safety situation.
I mean, come on. Pressure. Oh, and by the way, if you F up and lose, America will collapse under a Trump presidency / dictatorship.
Wait,
Think
are
about...
we go ahead, continue that line.
Think about the pressure.
Doon
She-
doon doon doon.
She... hey. Stop singing Vanilla Ice songs. All right.
Pushing down on me, pushing down on me.
pressure.
No man asshole.
She-
Under pressure.
No,
She-
the words are stop, collaborate, and listen.
yeah.
Oh, Ice is back with a brand new edition.
She knows what is at stake. While she has been a good and smooth political performer out there, and that is a compliment from me, I always had an eye out to see if I might catch a glimpse of an unguarded moment. I wanted to see how this was truly impacting her. I wanted to see, oh, I don't know, something I can't express to you clearly. I caught that moment during...
Problem if you're writing this article.
What the hell are you talking about, an unguarded moment? Unguarded would imply that at any point she had shown any sort of, like, knowledge of what she was doing.
Okay, I can explain this one. An unguarded moment is a song by The Church, which is a New Zealand band. So now you know.
Oh, okay. All right. I caught that moment during the DNC. Huh? I caught that
Knowing is
moment
half
during...
the battle.
No. I caught that moment during the DNC. It was while she was sitting in the audience, listening to Joe Biden's speech. With some effort, I reviewed the tape and I found it. I took a screenshot.
Why do we get the feeling that this author right here flicks her bean to either Harris or Biden? One of the two, or both.
Both.
Are we sure that's a woman? I don't know.
Hmm.
Look at her eyes. You see it, don't you?
No, I don't want to see anything of hers.
No.
That is a woman...
She got those freaking meat curtains for a neck too. It's like, get that away.
Look, that is a woman carrying the weight of the whole damn world on her shoulders. She knows. She knows what is at stake. She knows the responsibility resting on her to save us from our own...
That is the look of a woman who's carrying the weight of the knowledge that she's going to have to get on her knees for another man soon.
I mean, I think the author already explained it. This was taken while she was listening to Joe Biden's speech.
Yeah, she's
And
asleep.
probably saying, I can't believe I put that in my mouth.
Yeah. To save us from... to save us from our homegrown Putin wannabe, Orban wannabe, dictator wannabe Trump. And she was just dropped into this role, knowing she had hit the ground running. And wow, did she.
Yeah, she tripped over her left foot, her right foot, her tongue, her vocabulary, her running mate, and her boss. And the pattern on the carpet.
You know what Kamala Harris faced on day one of being the presumptive nominee for President of the United States, and she still faces
Having to give her running mate a blowjob?
Oh.
It is America Ferrera's Barbie speech. And then it's some stupid speech about how women have to be great all the time, yada, yada, yada.
Who the fuck is America Ferrera?
She's an actress.
I don't care. Whatever. Next.
That was pretty much it for Kamala Harris. You know it is true. We have...
Oh, wait, never mind. That's the wrong song.
We have seen it play out in real time. Oh, she laughs too much. Oh, she is too serious. Oh, she hasn't given us policies.
She's too serious.
Yeah. Oh, well, she gave us policies, but she didn't give us details. Oh, well, she gave us some details, but she didn't say how she was going to pay for it. Oh, well, she told us how she was going to pay for it.
No, she didn't give us any details.
But we need more information on
so
policies.
She hasn't answered any questions yet, unless you count. Well, how do you suggest we deal with this pressing concern on the?
No. She answered the question of
people.
what kind of household she was raised in.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up in a middle-class family.
There you
And
go.
We were so proud of our
she-
yard, and everybody in the neighborhood was proud of our yards, and we cut them regularly, and we took good care of that. Anything substantive?
I
She
think
has-
that her strategy is to just use word salad until she talks so much that the American public becomes dumb enough to vote for her.
But she also
no.
she also answered the question of what is how significant is the passage of time? That was answered.
I
Yeah.
knew you were going to say that.
That's true. That's true. How
Jack,
many days are left till the election? Yeah.
Jack,
What about the nature of yellow school buses?
See,
Monkey had it right. Salad has nutritional value. Stop calling it word salad. This is verbal diarrhea.
I would just like to point out that salad is not food.
Let's see.
Well,
She
salad
has-
is my food's food, so it's got to have some kind of nutritional value.
She hasn't had enough experience with debates. Oh, well, she got lucky on that one. She hasn't given enough speeches. Oh, well, then, she hasn't given enough interviews. Oh, well, then, she hasn't given enough unscripted interviews on podcasts. Oh, well, then, she hasn't done enough town halls. Oh, well, then, she just needs to do more and hasn't done enough. People keep raising the...
Somebody tell me, has she done a single interview, town hall, or podcast that hasn't involved her having a teleprompter or script help?
I like it was someone on CNN or something after her recent town hall with Anderson Cooper. I like the way he described it as it was a one-person debate and she lost.
Got it.
Yeah, it's like she starts out with like not doing any interviews, no town halls, nothing. And then she starts doing all of them, and it's like, oh, so this is why she wasn't doing them.
Yeah.
Yes, she has never been so popular as while she was dodging the media.
Let's see. People keep raising the bar on her, and then she clears every bar they raise. But it is still
they
not...
keep lowering the bar on her, and she still trips on it every single time.
But it is still not enough. Let's face it, for some, they're just waiting and watching and expecting it to eventually be this. And then just women jumping over hurdles. And then they can go, tisk, tisk, tisk. We told you she couldn't handle it. Emphasis on she couldn't, right? Well, I call BS. Let me tell you something. We are witnessing a superstar political athlete. I hope I don't...
Ooh.
The author. I hope I don't.
Flip the script on this. Instead of clearing hurdles, she's playing limbo. The bar is 20 feet up, and she's still managing to knock it down.
I think they're lowering the bar, but she keeps trying to deep throat it. I hope I don't jinx her, but flawless. She has been flawless. Look, politicians F up. They goof. They have gaffes. It happens. Some have had an exceptional talent for sticking one or both feet in their mouths. President George W.
Gaff has been showing up on media.
President George W. Bush.
How about instead of worrying about sticking your foot, how about just taking your foot out of your mouth for a change? Is it possible that she has any sort of capacity to like act like a human being just once?
Well, I mean, she may just take her foot out of her mouth occasionally, but primarily for the purpose of trading feet.
Man, but when you come off as less likable than Hillary Clinton, then you got to work on something else.
I don't know. I think that she's much dumber than Hillary Clinton, but I don't think she's less. I think Hillary Clinton was more unlikable. Because Hillary Clinton, just the way she talked was just malicious.
I mean, Hillary was a lot.
Jack's upcoming suicide. Offer my condolences in advance.
Yeah, I mean, Hillary was a liar, but she was kind of like smart enough to get away with it. Like Kamala's a liar and just too dumb to lie.
Daniel,
she's
make sure you pour one out for Jack as you're celebrating.
She's so dumb that the lies she tells aren't even like good lies. She's not. She doesn't have enough intelligence to be like truly as evil as Hillary Clinton. I think she's too dumb to be that evil.
Yeah, maybe that's why she doesn't get the same level of credit or discredit for such. Is she lies just as much as Hillary does, but nobody believes her. She can't sell it.
Yeah.
Let's see. President George W. Bush certainly excelled at this. He had a special talent for saying ridiculous things. For example, all I can tell you is that when the governor calls, I answer his phone. Or this gem,
that's not even the funniest George W. Bush quote. It's way better ones than that.
Yeah. Or this gem, my personal favorite.
I'm the man whose intentions are good.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood.
I know what I believe. I will continue to articulate what I believe, and what I believe what I believe is right. That could literally be a Kamala quote, and I would believe it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that is a Kamala quote.
Of course. I feel like we're inventing a new game here.
Bush or Kamala. Yeah. Let's see. Of course, Joe Biden has always been good at the skill of placing foot in mouth. For example, let me start off with 2 words: made in America.
Sure, and under the pressure.
Yeah. It was also impressive when Biden said, we choose truth over facts. Human beings flub words. It happens. However, what if Kamala Harris had said anything like any of these quotes from those men? Would she get a pass?
She'd be treated more gently than they were.
Are kidding me? Yet flubs are.
I think the main difference between Joe Biden and Kamala is that Joe Biden says nonsense, like just straight up nonsense. You could put it into writing and you wouldn't be able to understand it. Kamala does use actual sentences in theory. They just don't mean anything.
Well,
they're nonsense in a totally different way.
The big difference is with Joe, you can write it off as a dementia speaking.
Yes.
With Kamala, you just have to resign yourself to the fact that she's just that stupid.
Was it Michael Malice who said she was retarded?
Probably.
Stop insulting retards.
I've said she's retarded.
Yeah.
Yet flubs are only human, so they inevitably happen. Except they haven't happened. Not for her. No flubs, no gaffes, not one significant slip-up of any consequence that the media sharks could have latched onto and played on 24/7 loop.
That's just like the media's proclamations of how good things were under Obama because there were, what was it? No
scandals. Yeah.
Scandals.
Well,
and
the
such.
thing is, of course, she's never made a mistake. She focuses on what can be, unburdened by what has been.
I mean,
so she just ignores that what has been is absolutely mind-numbingly stupid verbal diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm pretty sure that I could give a Kamala rally at this point. Like, because she just repeats the same things over and over.
Yeah.
And like, that's fine if you're going to like a rally in different states, because, you know, they don't know that, you know, you gave a very similar speech just the other day. But when you're doing it on TV,
all these speeches are on the internet now.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it for every TV appearance too. All right.
He must be unburdened by what has been.
Frosted. I was gonna say you couldn't possibly pull that off, and then I remember you do porno gender edition every week, pretty much. So, or every other week on average.
In Yes Minister, he's like reading a speech and he realizes it's the wrong one. So then he says, "Oh, sorry, wrong speech." He gets to the next one. It starts out exactly the same way. It's just like the group that he's addressing is switched out.
It is not just the lack of gaffes. She has been smooth. She has been on message. And that is not as easy as the masters make it look. She has been pitching.
As a person who's ignored every single time that Kamala has cackled.
She has been she has been pitch and tone perfect in every appearance of hers that I have seen. And
As somebody who's completely tone deaf, the soundtrack in hell is Kamala cackling on loop.
And I have watched a lot, and I am severely sleep deprived as a consequence. Speaking of sleep deprived, when does she sleep? It has been non-stop jetting here, there, everywhere, and I have no idea how she hasn't lost her voice after so many speeches and interviews, and more speeches and more interviews and more speeches. Good God.
I have to give her this much. Kamala is much more active as a campaigner than Joe was.
I mean, she gives
Not
like
saying much, but it's something.
I mean, she shows up, gives a 7-minute speech, and then leaves.
Still beats calling calling it close to your day at 10 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, hell, Trump did 90 minutes at the RNC.
Only 90 minutes? Oh my God.
Slacker.
Good goddess. This woman is a superstar political athlete. Can we pause to give some applause?
I'll applaud when she's done speaking and off the stage.
Yes, I know it is not just a show, but substance. But here's the thing. It may seem to you that I am emphasizing the performative aspects of politics. Critics out there, and I hear you lurking, you have commented on some of my other articles, would say what about substance? Wait. Okay, critics out there would say what about substance? Oh, okay. Fair enough. However, do you really understand what the job of the President of the United States is?
Probably better than you do.
We don't have a king who can issue edicts. We don't have a dictator, yet, who can just have...
So they're saying that Kamala's going to be a dictator?
She wants to be.
Yeah. Okay, who can just have things their way because that is how they want it. True, we have had an expansion of the use of executive orders, but they have limited scope and the courts are starting to hem them in. The legislative branch is the one that put policy in motion, passed the laws, passed tax reform, etc. The president can only nibble around the edges of that, and is always at risk of getting slapped down by the courts. Look at how the courts slapped down Biden's student loan forgiveness. So what does the president of the United States do?
Two chicks at the same time.
I mean, I could see Trump saying that in a speech.
Yeah.
Hot dickings. He's just handing them out. Yeah, no, it says that in the Constitution, under that article, under his duties, All right. Okay. The good ones lead via their communication skills. Name me an excellent president.
Kamala out.
Name me an excellent president under whom great things happened, and I will name you a communicator. They persuade. They marshal public support. They marshal the public to put pressure on Congress. They meet with legislators to either twist some arms or be nice and cut a deal.
Almost like a presidential candidate who wrote a book on the art of the deal.
Yeah. Yes, they have many other jobs, including commander-in-chief of our military and presidential appointments. However, first and foremost is being a good communicator, and that, boys and girls, is performative. It is also about empathy. Name one person in politics right now with more empathy than Kamala Harris.
Let's see.
That's a trick question because no one in politics has any empathy, so everyone has equally zero. So I can't name someone with more.
Dick Cheney.
Yeah, but Terry, Trump is not a professional politician. He's a business turned politician. So, but the simple fact is, if I have to name one person with more empathy than Kamala Harris, I'll start with myself. And anybody that knows me knows I have almost none.
Let's see. Name one. Tell me what politician you know who could comfortably chat with Liz Cheney and comfortably chat with AOC, and have both those people leaving the meeting with a smile on their faces.
Okay. So we know why they're smiling.
Yeah.
Anyone that can get them off a couple of times?
Yeah. I mean, how could she possibly have a meeting with someone who hates Trump and someone who agrees with her on almost everything and have them leave happy? Look, I know to some ears, I still hear you commenters out there lurking, ready to dive in. This sounds superficial and naive. Well, what I have said will be put to the test. President Kamala Harris will show you...
It doesn't sound superficial and naive. It just sounds wrong. It just sounds totally and utterly wrong.
Semantics. Yeah. Right.
I think it would have been funny if she just stopped talking after that. It's like, some commenters will think this sounds superficial and naive, and then just end the article.
Well, I mean, it does sound naive, but everything this author has said sounds naive.
Well, what I have said will be put to the test. President Kamala Harris will show you if I called it right or called it wrong about her and what she can potentially accomplish. True, Congress is a mess, and it may even be beyond her or anyone's ability to do deals with them. That, of course, also depends on whether or not her coattails might bring better and more responsible people into Congress. We shall see,
that ain't happening.
And I will be here to write about it.
Oh, and Devil Fruit, it gets worse than keeping innocent men in jail because she didn't want to lose free labor. She kept an innocent man on death row because she didn't want to lose her conviction record.
Yeah.
She fought to keep an innocent man on death row.
And name someone with more empathy.
Bill Clinton,
John Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy.
All right.
The Zodiac Killer.
So at the end of
So
at the end of the third article comes the first game, technically. And that is Sad Libs Double Prompt Edition.
Woo!
Where I take 4 headlines for Medium, take out 2 words, and you guys have to fill in those words Mad Libs style, and the chat will vote on which one is best. All right. So there was some controversy last week over whether we should have, one person do both words in their prompt, or we should switch them up like we've been doing. So what do you guys think we should do?
Just do it like normal. No big deal.
Yeah, I'm fine with the old
Yeah,
system.
just do it like normal.
Oh, all right.
I didn't even know there was any controversy about it.
I don't
game.
remember this.
Oh, I don't know. All right. So Jack, I need a verb ending in ing.
I don't know. Shitting. I'm tired. I want to go home.
All right. Moon, I need a person possessive.
Like person as in full name, or person as in like just like first name only, or does it matter?
I don't know if we can identify them by their first name only. I don't know.
Okay, fine. Tim Walsh's.
Right.
Good old Timmy.
So were you just gonna say Tim and expect us to know?
Oh yeah, Tim's. Everyone knows Tim, right?
All right, Terry, I need a specific place.
So would something like a city be specific enough, or are you talking like a building or?
City's fine.
Okay, so I could do something like Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv. Good one.
All right, and Scribe, I need an adjective.
Well, after that last article, I have to go with, I think, floppy. I just had to spend how many minutes thinking about Kamala Harris, so.
All right, Moon, give me an adjective.
Oh, let's see. How about inflamed?
I like that.
Is that with an I or an E?
I.
All right. Let's see. So, Terry, give me a transitive verb ending in ing.
Assaulting.
All right. Scribe, give me a verb.
Scribe.
Scribe.
Just thinking about a verb for a moment.
Wake up and give him a damn verb, would you?
Yeah.
10 seconds. Dun, 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 dun. Started the Jeopardy
Fight.
music.
What'd you say?
Fights.
All right.
Fight is okay.
Okay. And Jack, give me a medical condition.
Testicular torsion.
Ouch.
I
Is
thought
it-
this was
wait,
like
what's
stage
the-
4 melanoma.
Hey.
All right.
Is that
So-
is that the correct terminology?
I believe so.
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Just
Jax,
checking.
I'm tired of shitting. Being queer and inflamed isn't easy.
Wow.
All right. Moons, the day Tim Walsh's father stopped assaulting me.
He had a
Right.
job over to his son.
Terry's, I'm a gay man, and Tel Aviv just criminalized me if I choose to fight. All right. And Scribes, the floppy wound. How workplace discrimination leads to testicular torsion.
I hate to say it, but I think Jack's is the best.
Yeah, I think mine. Yeah.
All right. So start pulling for the chat.
I was originally gonna go for erectile dysfunction, but I felt that with floppy it was too on the nose.
Hmm.
But it would have worked.
Yeah. The floppy wound.
Being queer and inflamed is an answer.
Yeah. well, you'd know.
Only on TV. Yeah, duh.
Method actor.
Everybody wants to go after my freaking TV career. What's going on with that?
As the skit goes, it's not a porno, it's HBO.
And Jack seems to be winning by quite a hefty margin.
Yeah.
Who said inflamed?
Moon.
Me.
Oh, congratulations, Moon. You won.
Well,
So-
I
so-
am pleased, you know.
So that's what the controversy was last week, is that the person who does the second word might be the one responsible for being funny.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just good like that. What can I say?
Yeah. So just wondering if you guys wanted to switch it up is all.
No, I'm fine with the way it is.
I'm fine
Well.
with it. It's just it's a technical limitation. It's fine.
Now, what would have been funny on Scribes would have been the cancerous wound, how workplace discrimination leads to melanoma.
All right. Well, I
We're
think
not looking for your autobiography, Mooney.
I
And
think
no
I
one
can end.
likes Scribe.
I think I can end the poll here with Jack with 74%.
Rigged.
Rigged indeed.
Rigged.
All right. So now on to our final article. What's your guys' favorite game show?
Well, it was Price is Right back when Bob Barker hosted it. Fuck Drew Carey.
Back in the day, I loved Supermarket Sweep. Remember that shit?
Ooh, David Ruprecht. Yeah, that was a good show.
All right.
The stuff like QI or Would I Lie to You count? Like they're more panel shows than game shows, really, but like they're structured as
I would count it.
Press Your
Well,
Luck, Hollywood Squares.
Then I would go Would I Lie to You is my favorite.
All right. Well, I've always been a fan of Weed of Fortune.
Keeper Dam asked, do you like Drew Carey better on Whose Line than Aisha Tyler?
Weed Fortune. Jeffrey Cass. Okay, let me find this guy.
Clive Anderson was the best host for Whose Line. I didn't like Drew Carey either.
Hi, baby.
Wheel of Misfortune. Pat Sajak's racism lands on bankrupt.
Weed of Fortune. Yes.
Yeah. And also,
amazing how anyone who isn't in your political party is the worst person in the world.
And also, I didn't realize that IS is a letter.
This guy looks like your typical douchebag. Here, I'll give him a...
And I mean, look at the two white spaces on the ends. That's not even the full word or phrase.
Yeah.
This guy's images in
Just
chat.
do a little editing. Just do a little editing.
No, sorry. Whatever the AI puts out, that's what we're going with.
Tell me this guy doesn't look like a stereotypical...
I
He
think
looks like a male feminist.
That's what this guy looks
It
like.
wouldn't be that hard to fashion an L from one of the E's.
6. If you're in chat, do you think you can take this person under your wing as far as AI images?
Teach them the way.
Yeah.
I need this person to know how to include more cars and sword fighting in their images.
And ice cream. Don't forget Moonshock.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's always cars and sword fighting. All right. My 80-year-old mother has been watching TV's Wheel of Fortune religiously. Thank you for specifying TV's Wheel of Fortune. You know,
Well, maybe it's like TV's Frank. It's just like part of the name.
As opposed to Broadway's Wheel of Fortune. You know. All right.
I was
The Wheel of
waiting for
Fortune
Hollywood.
musical.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Hollywood's Wheel of Fortune.
Religiously for nearly all its almost 50 years. I was 5 when the show first aired. Pat Sajak took over the reins of the game show in 1981, but after 43 years, he and his half-smiles and snarky jokes are finally retiring on June 7th, 2024.
Have you considered the possibility that he hosted one of the most famous game shows in America for over 40 years because he's good at it?
Yeah.
I don't even know what Pat Sajak looks like. I've just heard his name in reference to like game show hosts.
Viewers may not know it, but beneath Sajak's on-air corny humor was a far right-wing, extreme racist man.
Oh,
I'm sad that he's retiring then.
How dare he have opinions?
Yeah, this makes the Naggers joke from South Park even better. All right, let's see. Okay. The 1975 show's original host, Chuck Woolery, was racist himself, stating that he didn't believe in civil rights based on race or gender. He said racism has nothing to do with race, and he's tweeted Hitler crap. He even told Jewish jokes on air. Who would tell a Jewish joke?
And
just about anyone, I'd hope.
Keith just sent me a picture of Pat Sajak. I've seen his face before. I don't know where or why, but I've seen it.
You probably saw it on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
No, we have a different host in Australia.
Wait, which Wheel of Fortune? TV's Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah, I mean...
Terry, there is no Wheel of Fortune in Australia. It's a boomerang. You spin the wheel and it spins back.
No. I can't remember the guy's name. I know...
Jack, it's just down under. The wheel spins the other direction.
Yeah. I can't remember the guy's name, but yeah, there was an Australian who hosted Wheel of Fortune down here. Can't remember the guy's name.
That's...
And every fourth prize is a didgeridoo.
Yeah.
Let's see. But the first glimpse of Woolery's successor's racism didn't surface until 2010. Sajak hadn't revealed his views publicly before then. On my game show recently, an African-American contestant mentioned that he could teach anyone to be a hip-hop singer. I leaned over to him and stage whispered, "I'm sorry, but I'm hopelessly Caucasian." That wasn't the real hint of Sajak's racism. Here's where Sajak showed off his true feelings about black people and utter lack of empathy.
Here we go.
This nigger... Oh, sorry. No. It was a joke... It was a joke on... How awesome would it be if it started that? It was
you would change my opinion of this author instantly.
It was a joke on me and my lack of hipness and my white bread image, but I found myself re-examining the line later. Was I engaging in stereotyping? Could my remarks have been offensive? Would viewers be uncomfortable with what I said? I decided it was a harmless and somewhat amusing little comment, but it was the fact I gave it any thought at all that troubled me. So what bothered Sajak?
The comment was so innocuous that you had to think about it first to be offended.
Now that was what Sajak said about it.
Oh wait, what?
About his hopelessly Caucasian comment?
Yeah. Sajak said, "It was a joke on me and my lack of hipness and my white bread image, but I found myself re-examining the line later. Was I engaging in stereotyping? Could my remarks have been offensive? Would viewers be uncomfortable with what I said? I decided it was a harmless and somewhat amusing little comment, but it was the fact I gave it any thought at all that troubled me."
Okay, I looked at
I'd be troubled too if I made a comment like that and was second guessing it.
Baby John Burgess is the guy I was thinking of who hosted the Australian Wheel of Fortune.
All right. Is there ever any confusion when someone says R, when someone chooses R on that show?
Not that I'm aware of.
Like an ah? All right.
Only in certain parts of the country.
So what bothered Sajak was that he felt uncomfortable for a moment thinking about whether his comments were offensive or not. That must have been so hard, Pat. God forbid Sajak or any of us would have to feel even a little uncomfortable for having to think about our words and actions when it comes to race. Giving no mind to how uncomfortable blacks feel confronting actual racism daily in this country.
Dun, dun, dun.
And there's a YouTuber I watch who goes by Say Jam. So every time you say Say Jack, my brain is expecting Say Jam, and then it gets confused when you say Say Jack instead.
Why? What kind of content does he make?
He talks about and plays fighting games.
Oh. Sajak went on to express his belief that talking about racism was the cause of race problems. And that we don't need laws to address racism, just natural human evolution. The good old silence approach to society's problems. That's worked out so well so many times throughout history. Easy to say talking about race issues is the real issue when you're in society's white leather driver's seat now, isn't it?
But what he's trying to say rather awkwardly is that the real issue is talking about it. It's easy to claim that the real issue is talking about it when you're in the privileged position.
Yeah.
So it's a mess of a sentence, but that's what he's trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Lest you think Sajak's 2010 statements were one and done, he has given additional glimpses of his extreme views in the years since.
Wait, hold on. First of all, that was in 2010. You had to go back 14 years in order to come up with anything, and it was the most benign thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, if anything, it was making fun of white people. Right.
Yeah, I mean, for the love of God, that was the most benign thing. What the hell are you on about? Like some sort of you went back 14 years to find the most non-problem I've ever heard, and then wrote an article about it.
I'd love to see this author. I'd love to see this author see a Dave Chappelle special or something.
This is making my Oklahoma rant positively relevant by comparison.
Now let's not go crazy. All right. In
now
24,
I must hunt down this author for making anything Jack said seem relevant.
In 2014, after World Bank President Jim Yong Kim warned that poorer communities would suffer the most from the impact of climate change, although race was not mentioned, Sajak tweeted that people who advocated for addressing climate change were unpatriotic racists. Huh?
You're not wrong.
Only someone with some internal race issues tweets that kind of nonsense. In 2022, Sajak put any question on where he stands to rest when he posed for a photograph with racist wackadoodle Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's right. Sajak
He's a Republican.
That's right. Sajak smiled widely with his arm around Great Replacement spewing, Confederate monument supporting, Muslims shouldn't be in government touting racist Green. She has a long middle name. Most people who knew Sajak's far right-wing views weren't surprised, but most Americans had little idea he harbored such views and had friends like Green. Before you scream foul...
He posed for a photo with the woman. All that proves is that he is a Republican. You haven't even found anything that's like moderate Republican. This is like baseline Republican.
Yeah.
I mean, this is enough. This is enough to put him away for years.
I mean,
years is enough to put him away for life.
Before you scream foul, this isn't about canceling someone who just happens to have different views. This isn't about canceling someone.
This is the pettiest. This might be the pettiest thing I've ever heard on this show ever. And that's saying something.
This isn't about.
There was that one time the guy was just going on and on about the state of Oklahoma and like the shape of it. That was probably worse than this.
This isn't about canceling someone on the right who thinks we should have lower taxes or less regulation, or believes the U.S. should not fund any other countries. I agreed that we shouldn't I agree that we shouldn't demonize people simply because they have different ideas about how best to run the country. This is about pure racism, which we should call out every step of the way.
But what if racism is his idea about how to run the country?
You're a poster child for demonizing people simply because they have different ideas of how best to run the country. You're doing it now.
You claim you went back 14 years to get butthurt about some guy saying, let's not get butthurt over every tiny little minor offense that doesn't happen at all. And then you got butthurt about it. You got enormously butthurt about it.
Good riddance, Pat. Enjoy Mar-a-Lago in your retirement.
Thank you, I will.
Yeah, he will, yeah. He'll enjoy the living fuck out of it.
I want to see what the commenters say. I remember once when a black contestant's wife came on stage after he had won the bonus round. She was white. Pat Sajak was like, "Oh, you guys are together? Really?" He said it twice. Vanna White quickly moved in, shook their hands, congratulated them, and Pat caught himself.
Huh?
In other words, we're making up stuff out of whole cloth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. He was pictured hanging out with a MAGA crowd. Yep. I'd have rather seen LeVar Burton in the new hosting role.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so
well, I mean, he can read.
Pat Sajak is like one of the most milquetoast human beings ever. Getting offended by him is like getting offended by Bob Ross. It just doesn't really make sense.
How many black people were in Bob Ross's paintings, Jack?
He's got a point. He's got a point.
You got me there.
Yeah.
How many white people were in Bob Ross's painting, though?
Well, that's besides the point. Right.
He nursed a bunch of squirrels back to health. How many Negro children did he nurse back to health?
Check in.
All right. All right, and now we're gonna paint a happy little drug deal going on in a street corner in Chicago.
Now we're gonna paint a happy little tree. Oh, we're gonna put a happy little branch here. Well, no. We're gonna do two. No, we'll do three happy little nooses here. Of course, we can't have an empty noose. So,
all right.
Give him a phone.
It looks like he overdosed on fentanyl, but there are no mistakes, only happy accidents. I kind of want to see racist Bob Ross. I don't know.
and this house is going to have this happy little cross in the front yard, and it's so happy. It's just glowing. You can almost say it's fiery with joy.
I'm just imagining him with the afro and in blackface.
All right, we're gonna paint a happy little tree, and on that tree we're gonna have some strange fruit.
Bob Ross could have done ASMR. Bob Ross was the inspiration for ASMR.
All right. Well, that's all I have for tonight, gentlemen. So I'll take a moment to show my co-hosts and guests. Let's see. Jack has Games with Terry on his channel Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, where they play games that aren't as good as Dino Rex. And, right now they're doing Broken Age, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, which is the gayest of the games we've played.
Yeah.
It's even got Will Wheaton in it.
Yep.
It's got Will Wheaton in it, and it's got Jack Black in it.
Yes, it has 2 confirmed Kamala supporters in its cast.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
And at least 3 people who sound like Kamala supporters.
Moon has his Twitch channel linked in the description, but he's not playing right now.
After the start of November, I plan on going back.
All right.
He's got to read the walkthrough for Super Seducer, make sure he nails it.
Oh my god! Yeah. Yes.
He's looking up the game facts. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Terry is on Games with Terry with Jack. He's on Hammer's Minions Nights on Wednesdays. He's on Mr. Adam streams, and I think that's all your regular stuff.
Yep. If Johnny Hellcat does like a Jackbox stream or a Rift Track stream, I'll usually be on those. And if Six gets back to doing his Nice Hack streams, I'll probably be on those. But those are the three regulars. Yeah.
All right, and keeps asking when Mr. Adams' streams are.
I don't remember. I just I'll see him tweet and I'll be like, okay, I'll pay attention to that.
I don't know. Mr. Adams seems like the kind who would have a strict schedule. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got a regular Monday night on his Retro Arcade. And he's got a Saturday matinee at the arcade stream.
Yeah, I'm only on the Monday, well, Tuesday for me. But I don't even watch the stream. I just have it like playing so that I can see when he shills Satsu's chicken. I'm like, okay, when I see the chicken, it's time for me to join because we're going to get to the actually interesting part.
And anything you want to shill, Scribe?
No, that's Scribe. If you read it carefully.
Oh yeah, Sprite Lib.
Well, of course, we got the regular TEDx series, and we get the Sundays with.
Wow, you're not very well versed on what you do, Scribe.
I'm tired. It's late for me, so. Living on Borrowed Crime is something that comes out sometimes in a regular weekend show. And I hear that Cat Will at Forge does some odd stuff on Saturdays, too.
Yeah, Scribe has the Ilhan Omar approach to shilling. I do some things sometimes. Yeah. All right, and I actually won't be available next week, so. But we should be back. But we should be back the week after, which will be after the election, actually.
And just to address Jack Monkey, you call Frosted a faggot, but you're the one playing Broken Age.
Yeah,
that's true. Maybe I was the faggot all along, Terry.
The real faggot was the friends we made along the way.
Well, Mooney's here, so
Jack, the faggot was inside you the whole time.
That's only got 2 meanings. 3.
All right, so yeah, we should be back the week after next. So we'll see you guys.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Boy.